Are you ready?
Jamie Markley, David Van Camp, and Scott Robbins.
We just become best friends. Yep.
Making sense of it all.
Now I get it.
And having some fun.
Lighten up, Francis.
This is the Markley, Van Camp, and Robbins Show.
All right, let's do it. The Markley, Van Camp, and Robbins Show. I'm Jamie Markley. That's Dave Van Camp. Scott Robbins is out today. He'll be back tomorrow. He's fine. Just normal sort of check-up stuff.
Yep.
Nothing to do with the shutdown, the government shutdown.
No, he is still employed. Not furloughed.
Boy, oh boy, the Democrats are really losing as far as the shutdown goes.
Well,
and you see it in polling when Harry Enton goes on CNN and talks about it.
The Republican brand has actually gotten better among independents, and it's also gotten better among Republicans as well. So again, what's the electoral reason that Republicans would give in at this point? This is, in fact, the worst position Democrats have been on in a generic ballot at this point in midterm when there was a Republican president in the last 20 years, and this is no different from pre-shutdown.
Oh, boy.
Yeah. I mean, like on the generic ballot, they're generally leading by like 2 or 3. They should be running up the score.
Yes.
That's generally how it works. You know, the party that's in power, people get dissatisfied and they vote for the people out of power. Mm-hmm. Excuse me. And right now, the fact that they are +3 and the generic ballot usually favors Dems heavily anyway.
Yes.
When you break it down by district, it's much, much different. But, yeah, they're in a really bad position, and I understand why. Because everything that they are standing for makes no sense. They're either taking the 20% of an 80-20 issue, or
Yes.
they're shutting down the government because at the last second they said, actually, we need to spend $1.5 trillion more in order to keep the government open. That doesn't make sense to people.
No, not at all. And really, what it comes down to is the money. It's the massive long-term spending add-ons buried inside the funding bill. And Republicans are in no position to say, we're not going to agree. We're just not going to agree to that.
Well, and I mean, the fact that even though they face massive headwinds, Speaker of the House Mike Johnson mentioned this, that like by a 2.5 to 1 margin, congressional reporters are talking about the House schedule instead of the failed Senate votes.
Wow.
To reopen the government, because it's always got to be bad, Republicans bad, all day, all the time. And the fact that they are facing such headwinds makes it even funnier that, according to that poll that Harry Enton was referencing, among independents, approval for congressional Republicans has gone up by 8 points since the shutdown.
Yes. And to me, maybe I'm making too much out of it. But when the Union for the Federal Workers comes out and says, Democrats, pass the bill.
Yeah.
We need to get paid. You know the game's over.
Absolutely it is. What's their off-ramp?
You don't know. You really don't know. And it used to be you would think they have some sort of plan you don't know yet.
Yeah.
It's rudderless, that party.
Completely.
I don't think there is a plan. And you had an example of somebody just trying to take talking points and weaving it into some sort of mess.
Dude, it is a complete mess because nobody really knows why they're doing this. Democrat Representative Melanie Stansberry, she's from New Mexico. She got her talking points all jumbled up while talking about the government shutdown on CNN. And she was saying, well, you know, there are multiple states who are now suing the administration for not releasing SNAP funding. And even if they did that, allegedly, it's a 2-week-long stopgap for SNAP benefits to keep going out. That is not a solution. That's a Band-Aid. And then what's the plan to reopen the government 2 weeks from now? You know, that's ultimately the question. And so even CNN's Jake Tapper was saying, hey, why not just encourage your state's senators to vote to reopen the dang government?
Wow, Tapper. Hilarious.
Let me be clear. The administration is choosing to starve American children with money that they already have appropriated.
I'm not applauding their tactics.
By the White House.
Well,
this is a choice by the White House.
This
they
is
are
also,
choosing
Congresswoman,
to
this
cut
is
off
also a
food
choice
assistance.
by Senate Democrats
No,
to not
it is
vote to
not.
open the government. Yes, it is.
The
I understand
Senate-
why they're doing it. I understand the reasoning.
Sir, let me just be clear. The money for contingency plans is sitting there. That is why the states are suing. The White House is withholding funds from
2 to 3
children
weeks worth
to
of
have
SNAP funds.
food.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Jake's about had it there.
Yeah.
We're only halfway through the clip.
I love how Jake is like, listen, lady, I'm on your side. I'm
trying to help you.
I'm sympathetic to your cause, but I mean, I can't even be that big of a shill for you. I got to be honest, man. This is crazy. Y'all could just reopen the government and all those funds would go. You wouldn't have to worry about contingencies or anything like that. It just makes no sense.
No. Well, let's travel on this adventure.
Yeah.
Yeah, well, it may not be a big deal to you, but let me
It is
tell
a
you
big
that
deal to
for
me.
the grandparents,
I'm on your side.
For grandparents
big deal
that
to me.
literally are feeding their children,
My point
to
is that
not
it's a
have
short-term
money
solution.
in those accounts.
It's a
It doesn't
short-term-
matter. At the end of the day, people need to be able to feed their families, and Saturday is when those funds
For 2
run out,
weeks.
So
and we are
strongly,
fighting
Congresswoman,
to get
why
that
not
funding.
ask the Senate Democrats from New Mexico to vote to open the government so that the SNAP funds...
Sir, I am here in the House of Representatives. It is shut down. I am fighting to get the government reopened. I am fighting to get funding.
Hold on a second. That's when you know you have nothing but talking points.
Yeah.
Sir, I'm at the House of Representatives,
Yes.
and we already know you're stating obvious
Yeah,
things. You're not having a conversation there.
We can hear the echo, lady. We know that you're standing in the House of Representatives.
Yes.
Put back into SNAP that is already existent, and I am fighting for the American people. I am here, but show me a single Republican
Oh,
that is
gosh.
here. Not a single one is here to make sure that
Yeah,
Americans are
you're
fed on
not-
Saturday. That is why I am here.
You're not winning the battle.
No.
Sorry.
And Mike Johnson has repeatedly said, no, I'm not going to call the House back in session. We already we did our jobs. What else
Yes.
am I supposed to do?
Yep. And the thing is, as time goes on, when you're talking about SNAP benefits and food stamps, right? So it used to be you would talk about this, and people would really have a heart to say, oh, my gosh, kids are going to starve. This is no good. But so many videos being shared across social media of people that are so entitled. You owe me my damn SNAP benefits. You better get them. I'm stealing from the store.
Oh, yeah.
And talking about we all need to coordinate and go to a Walmart at 10:30 at night because a lot of them close at 11. And what are they going to do when we just start taking food and taking whatever we want? Like, holy smokes, man. Then all of a sudden people are like, what? No, we're not doing this.
Yeah.
Or you see all of the fraud with the SNAP benefits.
Well, yeah, that's the real scab that a lot of people don't want to. Excuse me. Everybody in my house is under the weather. It's just one of those things. So
I'm surprised you're here. I'm glad you're here.
that's the one scab that Democrats really don't want to pick at is how much fraud or abuse is in there.
golly.
Dude, when you this is according to the USDA, which oversees the program. If when you look at the top 10 things that people are buying with food stamps, number one is soda.
Oh, golly.
Number one is soda. Now, out of the top 10, 3 out of the top 10 are either soda, ice cream, or potato chips. They just want to feed their families. Okay.
Dude, I'll bring this up every time. Every time when the woman was looking for food at the store, this was years ago now,
Yeah.
and you're like, okay, I'm going to feed your kids. Let's go into the grocery store. And she started putting a bunch of stuff in the cart, and you're like, nope, nope,
Yeah.
nope. We're getting lunch meat. We're getting some bread for some sandwiches.
Yes. Well, yeah, because she wanted like the little Debbie cakes or whatever. I mean, she wanted all these things, and I'm like, well, no, I'm not paying for that. You said you needed school lunches for your kids, and I had a heart, and I didn't have kids of my own, so I had disposable income.
Yeah.
I've done that a couple of times. Somebody down on their luck, and if they take up the offer, I'll buy you a little bit of groceries. You know, no big deal. But yeah, that was the eye opener. Is that she kept trying to sneak in all these like potato chips and little Debbie snacks and
Oh, yeah.
soda. No, I'll get you water. Get you milk.
And not the carbonated water, the flavor.
Yeah,
We're
right.
getting just regular water. You'll be fine. Meanwhile, Trump, the big Asia trip. But you got to talk about the wins. I mean,
Yeah.
trade deal with Japan is pretty impressive. There was an apology as far as when things got started because Trump and the new prime minister apparently were watching the World Series. So the interpreter actually talked about that. It was
To
funny.
the press corps, I'm very sorry that we kept waiting. As a matter of fact, Mr. President and I myself just enjoyed watching the Major League Baseball match. Actually,
Not a match.
Dodgers versus Blue Jays. And Dodgers
No.
is now having a 1-point lead. And
one
we
game.
really enjoyed the match.
Sorry. No, and not match. Sorry. It's
Well, it
game.
gets lost in translation,
It does, I know. But this is first female prime minister of Japan.
Oh, yeah.
And Trump mentioned that and said she's a winner, man.
This woman is a winner. So, we've become very close friends all of a sudden because their stock market today and our stock market today hit an all-time high. That means we're doing something right. But I have to say this, the first female prime minister in the history of Japan, Madam Prime Minister.
And she's a hard right conservative, which is hilarious because I'm guessing that she is not going to get the Angela Merkel treatment in the global press.
No. No, the fact that she's a woman won't matter at all.
No.
Because you also have to be on the left to get all the accolades.
That's all that matters.
Yes. Okay, I think you have a treat for us, David.
I do.
And I think you mentioned this yesterday, right?
Yeah. So there are a few pages on YouTube where they do AI reimaginings of classic songs. And so it's like AC/DC does funk or something like that,
Right.
And it's usually pretty funny. Mm-hmm. I think this is my favorite one. And part of it is because the source material I really like. It's a glam rock version of Take Me Home Country Roads by John Denver.
You mentioned this yesterday. I haven't heard it yet. Let's roll it out.
I hear her voice in the morning hour. She calls me. The radio reminds me of my home far away. Driving down the road, I get a feeling that I should have been home yesterday.
To me, that's just fun.
Yeah.
Boy, would Robbins hate this. Probably good he's not here today. Wow.
You gotta have the breakdown, man.
To the place I belong, West Virginia, Mountain Mama, take me home.
Yes.
Bring it home. Bring it home.
Dude, we're going to have to play this again tomorrow for Robin, just to watch him be tortured.
I actually really like it.
It's fun. It's fun.
Go pound sand.
He's not here. That's just, recorded.
Exactly.
Yeah. Exactly. We have a whole Robin soundboard we can use today. Bill Gates, climate change, forget about it. We'll get to that story and the 5 stories we're watching today coming up. It's fall already. That means chili cookouts, holiday get-togethers, and a boatload of Halloween candy. As great as all of those things might taste, the reality is that all of the heavy foods, sweets, and adult beverages put an extraordinary strain on your liver. And when your liver isn't happy, neither is the rest of you. Bloating, indigestion, fatigue, those are all signs that your liver needs some love.
And you can help your liver out with a daily dose of Active Liver from New Nordic. It's a simple way to keep your liver healthy, even when your diet isn't. All it takes is just a couple of great-tasting gummies a day to help give your body's filter the support it needs. It might even make you feel a little less guilty when you raid your kids' Halloween haul, too. Enjoy all the fantastic flavors and treats of fall without the bloating and fatigue. Make Active Liver your healthy new habit starting today. You can find Active Liver online at Amazon or pick some up at your local CVS, Meijer Grocery, and it's now available at ShopRite. Check it out, Active Liver from New Nordic.
I'm still going for it, even with higher stroke risk from atrial fibrillation, an irregular heartbeat not caused by a heart valve problem. Over a 3-year study, Eliquis apixaban tablets reduced stroke risk better than warfarin, and over 97% of Eliquis patients did not experience a stroke. A first stroke occurred in 2.9% of warfarin patients versus 2.3% of Eliquis patients.
Don't stop prescription Eliquis without asking your doctor. Stroke risk may increase. Eliquis can cause serious and potentially fatal bleeding. Don't take if you have an artificial heart valve, abnormal bleeding, or antiphospholipid syndrome. While taking, you may bruise more easily or bleed longer. A spinal injection increases blood clot risk, which may cause paralysis. Get medical help right away for unexpected bleeding or bruising, or back pain, tingling, numbness, muscle weakness, or incontinence. Aspirin products, NSAIDs, SSRIs, SNRIs, and blood thinners increase bleeding bleeding risk. Tell your doctor about planned medical or dental procedures. Learn more at Eliquis.com or call 1-855-ELIQUIS.
All right. The Markley, Van Camp, and Robbins Show. I'm Jamie Markley. That's David Van Camp. Scott Robbins out today. I think it was because of checkups. But then I realized it's like National Cat Day.
Oh, yeah.
He didn't take a day off to spend with
Get
his...
over it, people.
No, he was going to Sears for his family portrait.
with the cats.
Yes.
Now the 5 stories we're watching today.
1, 2,
Number 5, the government is still shut down because Democrats are big fat crybabies. Number 4, President Trump, this is going to freak people out. He has fired all the sitting members on the Commission on Fine Arts, not the Commission on Fine Arts.
Oh, norms.
This is an independent agency expected to review his construction projects. And while the freakout's going on, I just want to remind people that Joe Biden, with that very same commission, fired Trump appointees because they were not, or because they were white. Didn't meet
Well, yeah,
the
you had to
diversity.
get rid of Whitey for diversity.
Yeah. Number 3, the mother of New York City socialist mayoral candidate Zoran Mamdani gave an interview when he was 21 years old. He was a college student at the time, talking about how her son is not American at all, while using terminology that some view as derogatory towards the United States. The word is phalanx. I don't know if I'm pronouncing that correctly, but apparently it can be used as a slur against non-Indians.
Okay.
So, like outsiders, basically. He's not really an American. Uh-oh.
He's a farang.
Yes.
Got it.
Yes.
Well, if Mom says
not.
it, you got to believe her, right? Believe all mothers.
Yes, he is not a farang.
Oh.
That's the thing. He's not, a white boy or something like that.
Got it.
And number 2, Vladimir Putin says Russia successfully has tested its Poseidon nuclear-capable doomsday torpedo capable of triggering radioactive tsunamis, which would render coastal cities uninhabitable. They say that they have it, but it's Russia, and they lie a lot. So, I don't know.
Well, Hank Johnson's going to be losing sleep thinking Guam's really going to just tip all the way over
That may
the entire
be
island.
That may actually be a scenario in which Guam actually does tip over.
There you go.
Hank Johnson might actually be vindicated after all these years of mockery. And then number 1, this is driving some people crazy. I think it's hilarious. President Trump doing a trip through Asia. He was in Korea, South Korea, and the leader of South Korea gave Trump a golden crown. And I need him at the next press conference to show up wearing it. I need that.
That would be incredible. People would absolutely lose their minds.
No kings! Ah!
Exactly. Did you happen to see this news that there is a new Dr. Seuss book on the way?
Really?
In time for America's 250th birthday? It's called Sing the 50 United States.
Okay.
And will teach kids the names of each state with the help of the Cat in the Hat. Yes. The CEO of Dr. Seuss Enterprises said, "We're uncovering a new work from Ted is like finding a time capsule of his imagination. Sing the 50 States celebrates his boundless creativity, genius with words, and enduring ability to inspire young readers everywhere. We're honored to share this new Dr. Seuss treasure with readers across America during such a meaningful milestone year." Apparently, he had written this before, but it was just now discovered. Do you believe that?
No, probably not. It's a money grab. Is it going to be woke?
That's the question, right? Because didn't Dr. Seuss say, hey, we've made some mistakes in the past, or they wanted to change some stuff?
Yeah, his estate did, and part of it was... It's funny because liberals were complaining about, book bans and things like that, and they literally got some of the books banned. Like, they're not printed anymore because they were problematic.
Right.
It's like the Mulberry Street one, there was a picture of a Chinese guy that was deemed offensive. And so they're like, well, we're going to change with the times. So they canceled Dr. Seuss.
Yeah, that was all around the same time, like Aunt Jemima was going away.
Yeah. The Land O'Lakes.
Yes.
Native American.
Yes. All of us like, oh my gosh, we got to get rid of it all. And now, this is the Markley, Van Camp, and Robbins Show. All right. If there's one big story today, if you had to pick one.
I mean, I think it's again, not. I know most people, maybe now they're going to start feeling the pinch of the government shutdown. I know for the past month it's not necessarily been top of mind outside of, political media, et cetera. But I think the big story here is that, unlike most other times, the Democrats are not winning the argument at all about the shutdown because it's so absurd.
No. And I mean, maybe it's just sort of the feed on your social media, and then people are sharing different things with all the SNAP benefits. People are going to lose their minds.
Yeah.
And if that is put on the Democrats, holy smokes. Yeah, we've never seen anything quite like that. We got to get to the Bill Gates story on climate change. And what's your story? Coming right up. The Markley, Van Camp, and Robbins Show. Thank you so much for being here. I'm Jamie Markley, the Gen Xer. David Van Camp, the Millennial, and the Sexy Boomer. Scott Robbins out today. He will be back tomorrow. Before we get to the Bill Gates thing with climate change, this is one of the hottest takes on record, I think. I haven't heard it. I'll let you set it up.
All right. So,
because we were talking about the SNAP benefits going away.
Yeah, there's an account on X that's now been set up because food stamps are going to go away, and it's called EBT of TikTok.
Yes.
So they're just capturing people's hot takes on food stamps not being funded starting on November 1st, on Saturday.
Mm-hmm.
And because of the government shutdown, because of the Democrat shutdown. And this one lady took it upon herself to turn on the old iPhone and say that without food stamps, black people will have no choice but to start eating white people.
Eating the people.
Eating whitey.
Wow. Okay.
Black Americans do not care about your government shutdown, and Black Americans do not care about you taking away our EBT and our government assistance, because Black Americans never depended on the American government to take care of us and feed us, because we never could. So you can sit back and you can mock, you can laugh, and you can think that you're about to starve us to death, but I'm here to let you know that we are going to eat regardless, even if we have to hunt you animals down and roast and eat you. The delectable crackers and cheese. We will make it happen if we have to. Trust and believe me.
Holy mackerel. Well, I mean, we'll just state the obvious. If a white person said that on any social media, I think that would be the lead story on synchronized media.
Oh, dude.
Across America.
I mean, I just think it's funny, and she said I could laugh at her, and I will laugh at her, because that's ridiculous. But yeah, if there's some guy goes out...
Are you saying white people wouldn't taste good? Is that what you're getting at? No flavor? Too bland?
If Tucker Carlson goes out and says, we have to keep SNAP funding going because otherwise black people will start eating whitey. If he said that, that would be one of the lead stories on Good Morning America for sure.
Yes.
And I'd also be going, why would you say something like that, Tucker? What is wrong with you?
See, and I'm thinking now, because Bill Gates has done this 180 on climate change, had he not done that, it would have been, the climate is affecting people. You're going to see cannibalism. But that's not quite the story right now.
No, it's not. So, yeah, Bill Gates suddenly came out and said yesterday, hey, climate change is not going to end humanity next week, and actually said the alarmism hurts the overall cause of trying to ease human suffering around the world. And, I mean, that's a point that a lot of conservatives have made, like, hey, look, we're not going to completely cripple the global economy. We're not going to let more people suffer and die because you feel like carbon emissions are going to end the planet. You know?
Yes, there have been countries that went poor because of it.
Yes. I mean,
and was a revolt.
Yeah, well, and even in Great Britain, leadership there is saying, "Oh yeah, actually, wind power." This was just like yesterday or today, where they were saying, "Oh yeah, by the way, wind power not as reliable as we were expecting it to be."
No, there's been a lot written about that.
Mm-hmm. Well, Spain, their whole electric grid went down. A while ago because of what they called rare atmospheric conditions. See, they're all green. They're all solar and wind.
Mm-hmm.
And the rare atmospheric conditions were, I'm not kidding, it was cloudy and the wind wasn't blowing.
Cloudy and calm today. Uh-oh.
Uh-oh. Oh, gosh. So anyway, there's a scientist called Michael Mann, not the filmmaker, different guy, less cool guy, who is flipping out about Bill Gates saying, hey, let's actually try to look at other projects aside from renewable energy.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, it's very disappointing. And frankly, Bill Gates doesn't have any expertise in climate science. And he's failing to listen to what the experts actually have to say. And we're seeing it play out in real time right here. Disastrous climate change is not far off in the future. It's not 1.5 Celsius. It's not 2 Celsius, as he suggests. It's here. And the question is, how bad are we willing to let it get? And if we continue to warm the planet beyond that level of warming, we will exceed our adaptive capacity. And so when Bill Gates says we'll just sort of try to engineer our way out of it or innovate our way out of it, it's really tone deaf to the fact that there are a very large number of people who will suffer catastrophic consequences if we continue to allow the planet to warm up by continuing to burn fossil fuels. And I wish that Bill Gates would use the platform that he has to urge politicians and policymakers to help us transition away from dirty carbon energy towards clean energy as quickly as possible.
No, I think this is true. There have been a few takes about this whole 180 from Bill Gates, and part of it is because Trump is president.
Yeah.
And there's been a reset, and the hopes and dreams of the World Economic Forum are no more. Because there's been a major shift.
Well, and the money isn't there anymore. There was an article a few weeks ago about how Alex Soros, George Soros' son, was frustrated with the climate movement because he's writing, billion-dollar checks to these different groups, and then at the drop of a hat, suddenly it becomes all about Palestine.
Right.
He's like, what is going on here? Even I forget which news outlet he talked to about it, but he's like, what are we doing here? So the donations dry up because leftists who were married to global warming, like Greta Thunberg, are now suddenly all in on hating the Jews.
How dare you?
I know.
It's the reality.
Yes.
People don't want to open up their wallets for that.
No, they don't. Okay, more on that a little bit later. I knew Karine Jean-Pierre had the big book coming out. I didn't know John Carl from ABC also has a book about the election, and that's what he's been doing is promoting it. He was on with the crew of Morning Joe on MS, I'll always call it NBC, MS Yesterday or whatever they're calling it. Now I know. Talking about Obama being ticked off about Nancy Pelosi endorsing Kamala after Biden dropped out. All this behind-the-scenes stuff is coming out now. It's entertaining.
You report that Barack Obama called her basically asking, what the F did you just do?
Obama says is basically, what Nancy, what was that all about? And clearly irritated. No, she was pissed off. She was angry. He was angry. The clear message was, why did you do that?
Yeah. They wanted the open sort of forum to try to get somebody they really wanted, and it wasn't Kamala.
No. Well, and exactly. They wanted a coronation. They just didn't want her to be the recipient of it.
Yes. Well, and I'll just play this little clip for you. I guess Paul Pelosi, when Nancy had told him, he was like, what? Really? Which is just funny to me.
Pelosi talks to her husband, Paul Pelosi, and Paul answers the phone by saying, Kamala? No. You did what? What? Kamala?
Oh, my gosh.
Man, well,
and this obviously is all coming out now, and with all of these people, putting their hat in the ring for 2028, it's going to be entertaining, to say the least.
I think so, yeah.
The backbiting, everything else. And the media, cracks me up, especially the Morning Joe crew, like all these behind-the-scenes things. You were part of it.
Right.
You were an advisor, Joe. My gosh.
Best Biden ever.
Of course. And that's the one that, to me, he'll never live down.
No.
You know?
Best Biden ever.
Well, don't forget.
And F you if you can't handle the truth.
I know, of course. All right, it's that time, even past that time, where we go around the table. It may not be the biggest story out there, but it caught your attention. David, what's your story today?
Go back to the old food stamps here. Rapper Cardi B, very upset that food stamps are going away due to the government shutdown. And it's all because people, well, apparently the reason food stamps are going away, if the government does not reopen, is because people made fun of her when she had some technical difficulties while campaigning for Kamala Harris.
What? I don't even know what that means.
Y'all was so worried about me saying Donald Trump. Y'all was worried about me saying Donald Trump and my teleprompter not working that y'all missed the message. And this is what I was trying to say. Now look, right? Ain't no food stamps. Y'all gonna have to hunt raccoons and for Thanksgiving.
What?
Eat beans.
You're going to have to hunt raccoons for Thanksgiving and eat beans because there's no...
That's incredible. I got to hear it again.
I'm going to have to hunt raccoons and for Thanksgiving.
Ning.
And eat beans.
I've never heard anyone say Thanksgiving like that.
Who's going to be the one to carve
Thanksgiving.
the Thanksgiving raccoon? So apparently, I don't know, based on one of the earlier clips we had this segment, and that, Thanksgiving is going to be, the meal is going to be white people and raccoon and beans, apparently.
All right.
All because food stamps may not be available.
Got it. Okay. Another person that's not quite all there is Jim Acosta.
Uh-huh.
Jim used to be with CNN, and now he's doing this, I don't know, podcast or whatever. I don't think it's doing very well. Last week, he did like the live hit from, he was witnessing the demolition of the East Wing and norms being broken, and he was out of his mind. Well, the Washington Post endorsed it.
Oh, they did?
The ballroom, saying, you got to evolve.
Yeah.
The White House has had construction before, and he's had it, and he's canceled his subscription to the Washington Post, and he wants you to know about it.
I will not subscribe to some watered-down, MAGA-friendly, Trumpy-curious, ballroom, construction justifying piece of newspaper, that belongs, at the bottom of my birdcage.
Doesn't it figure that Jim Acosta would have a birdcage? That's my biggest takeaway.
I like the idea that now suddenly the Washington Post is this conservative rag.
They're mentally ill. They are. Okay, Trump says I can't run again. We'll get to that and Nimrods of the news coming up.
Peer opportunity. It's what Michigan is all about. The opportunity to do more. The opportunity to connect with the best talent. The opportunity for people of all backgrounds to grow and expand their business. The opportunity to live and work in a state where paychecks go further. The opportunity is now, and it's right here in Michigan. Visit MichiganBusiness.org to discover all the ways the Michigan Economic Development Corporation can help your business thrive.
I'm Ed Evans, CEO of Consumer Cellular. Ever wonder why Big Wireless wants you on an unlimited plan? They probably want you to cover the cost of those 20-somethings using all that data every month. But most people 50 and up like me only use 12 gigs or less. Don't get bamboozled by Big Wireless. Switch to Consumer Cellular. Our plans start at just $20, and we use the same towers as the big guys. Join the millions who choose something better, because if you're not using all that data, you're probably getting used.
Call 1-888-FREEDOM or visit consumercellular.com/facts. Plans include $5 credit for autopay and e-billing. See site for additional facts.
Wesley Financial Group is not a law firm.
Hi, I'm Chuck McDowell, the timeshare cancellation guy. In 2011, I founded Wesley Financial Group with one goal in mind, to help honest folks out of their timeshares permanently. Today, I run Wesley with my two sons, a real family business, treating every client and every employee like we'd want our own family treated. That philosophy has helped us grow into the largest, most trusted timeshare cancellation company in the United States. Fortune magazine even recognized us as one of the best places to work. Why? Because we genuinely care. In fact, some of our former clients were so moved by their experience working with us, they joined our team so they could help others to timeshare freedom. If you're stuck in a timeshare, give us a call. Let our family help your family.
Call Wesley now for your free timeshare exit kit. 800-858-1199. That's 800-858-1199. 800-858-1199.
The Markley, Van Camp, and Robbins Show. I'm Jamie Markley. That's David Van Camp. Scott Robbins out today. Well, he's still sort of with us.
Sure, the weather's cooling off, but football season is heating up, and it's even better with Prize Picks. Here's the deal. Download the Prize Picks app, use code MVCR, and when you play your first $5, you'll get $50 instantly in lineups. That's $50 guaranteed just for playing. Prize Picks is super easy to use. Just pick two or more players, choose more or less on their stat projections. If you're right, you win. It's that simple. It's available in more than 40 states, including California, Texas, Florida, and Georgia. And your money's always safe, fast, and secure. Maybe even cash in on all those instincts. Who's falling in the standings and who is rising to the occasion? Make your pick on Prize Picks. Download the Prize Picks app today. Use code MVCR. You'll get $50 in lineups when you play your first $5 lineup. That's code MVCR. And get $50 in lineups after you play your first $5 lineup. Prize Picks, it's good to be right. Must be present in certain states. Visit PrizePicks.com for restrictions and details.
And Robbins will be back tomorrow. Okay. So Trump, third term. It's on. No, it's off. It's on. It's off.
He's trolling people. It's obvious that he's trolling people. And then, I mean, I think he finally got tired of playing the game of back and forth. Because on Air Force One, he just addressed it.
Okay.
And I would say that if you read it, it's pretty clear. I'm not allowed to run. It's too bad. I missed it. But we have a lot of great people.
Yeah.
Oh, man, but what about all the Trump 2028 hats? They're hilarious.
Hey now, don't dream it's over.
That is sad. I don't think he's done having fun with it yet.
No.
Probably just like, for now, I'm done with this.
Yeah,
okay.
It's like, it's a long overseas trip. I don't want to have to keep answering this question anymore. Okay, yeah, it's pretty clear that I can't run for a third term. It's a shame. Love to do it.
But boy, you know, when there was talk of that, and Bannon was talking about it, you said the freak out was all over social media.
Oh, for sure it was, yeah.
People are like, this is what we've been warning you about. He will not leave office. Oh, gosh.
That's right. Now the troll is going to be, well, I can't run again, but who said anything about democracy in 2028?
The thing is, can you ever see Trump completely out of the game?
No, I can't. I mean, if anybody's deserved time off once he's out of office, it's him. Because he's had a hell of a decade. But, you know, I don't think he's capable of it. I don't think he's capable of downtime.
I don't either. And the thing is, I mean, he can still do some of the things that he enjoys doing now. Like, say, playing golf. He plays golf with his granddaughter. He plays golf with a lot of different people. Well, he mentioned like a week ago, it must have been a scramble he was playing in with this tycoon from Japan, and they won the scramble, and he wanted everyone to know they didn't cheat, which is hilarious.
I think Massa is here. Where's Massa? Yeah, I played golf with this guy last week. He sank every putt. They won the tournament. Oh, we didn't cheat either. You know, a lot of those teams cheated because I know how they play, and they did not shoot those scores. We had a great time, and you played great, and you putted very well, and I appreciate it because I now have an extra trophy on my desk, and I like that.
He likes people that win, David. All right, we got to get to Nimrod. Here we go.
When the going gets tough,
Damn it, this is too hard.
the dumb get dumber.
All right, Ian.
It's Nimrod's in the News on the Markley, Van Camp, and Robbins Show.
I love the poorly educated.
All right. Nimrod's in the News. We go to Florida. 31-year-old guy, Aaron Thompson, check this, destroyed about 80 pumpkins outside of Target, worth around $500.
The heck?
Yeah, police say a security camera caught him picking pumpkins out of the boxes located in front of the store and just smashing them on the ground. Happened in the middle of the night last week, like 1:15 a.m. He's 31, not teenage dudes.
Man.
He was actually caught when he returned to Target a few days later. While they were open, loss prevention officers pulled him aside, showed him the footage of the pumpkin smashing, and said, "Hey, you know who that was?" And he responded seriously, "Yeah, that's me." Not even joking. Felony criminal mischief for that.
Man.
And that's Nimrod's in the News.
Jamie Markley, David Van Camp, and Scott Robbins.
We just become best friends. Yep.
Making sense of it all.
Now I get it.
And having some fun.
Lighten up, Francis.
This is the Markley, Van Camp, and Robbins Show.
The Markley, Van Camp, and Robbins Show. Jamie Markley, David Van Camp, Scott Robbins out today. He will be back tomorrow. This government shutdown not working out for the Democrats like they had hoped.
No. I don't know what they were really hoping for, but it's a bizarre situation.
That everything would get blamed on Republicans and their starving children and their heartless, I guess that was the play.
Again, you could have just passed the clean CR and then spent the last month and then more talking about Obamacare. And that would have been probably more effective.
Yes, but they really felt like, well, they don't care about the people they claim to care about.
No, they
They
don't.
show that with their actions.
Oh, yeah.
And thinking, okay, this will give us some sort of upper hand, but it is blown up in their face.
Well, and they're admitting it openly. They keep saying the quiet part loud. Democrat Senator Sheldon Whitehouse goes to that all-white country club, you know.
Yeah, that's right.
He cares about the working folks. He was asked about his party's government shutdown, which is about to get really nasty for millions of people who aren't going to get their SNAP benefits in a few days. This is from journalist Nicholas Balassi.
Okay.
Why are working families the leverage the Democrats need to get Obamacare fixed, to get the Republicans to fix Obamacare? Why is that the place you guys have to go that far?
It's the only lever we have. And frankly, it wouldn't be a lever at all if Republicans were being reasonable.
It's the only lever we have.
Yes. That's what he thinks.
Lever.
Yeah, the rest of America was like, hey, jackass, it's lever.
Exactly.
Right?
Yeah. Is that how they talk at the all-white club?
I think so, yes. It's very cosmopolitan.
Lever. Yes.
Yes.
Well, these poor people, that's the only thing we have going for us, really. Well, thanks for being honest, Sheldon, I guess. No, and what's going to happen is white people are going to start being eaten. We've learned that. Now, if you're just joining us, this will be news to you, but that we were told that from somebody on social media.
Yes.
That they're going to start eating white people or something?
Because we never could. So you can sit back and you can mock, you can laugh, and you can think that you're about to starve us to death. But I'm here to let you know that we are going to eat regardless, even if we have to hunt you animals down and roast and eat you. The delectable crackers and cheese. We will make it happen if we have to. Trust and believe me.
That's a scorching hot take there, isn't it? I mean, I still can't get over that because there's no way, if Bill O'Reilly goes on News Nation and says, we have to keep giving out food stamps or else blacks are going to start eating whitey. That'd be a minefield, wouldn't it?
Yes.
The weird thing is when they talk about it, now when you look at SNAP recipient percentage of households by race, yes, black households are the highest recipient. If you just like break it down, the number of it's like 25% of black households get SNAP benefits.
Mm-hmm.
But that means the vast majority of black people are not on food stamps, and it just reminds me of that conversation I had with a neighbor of mine back in 2020 who was black, and I've referenced this several times. We said, why is it that whenever politicians are talking about or asking for black people's votes, they always talk about prison reform, welfare, and the projects? He's like, I've never been to prison. I've never been on food stamps. I've never lived in the projects. Nobody in my family meets that criteria.
Yep. But it is honestly, too, and a lot of the clips that you just can't play because there's so much swearing.
Yeah.
It would be pretty much useless. It'd be nothing but beeps. But talking about what's going to happen when the SNAP benefits run out and how they're going to steal and all this other stuff. And honestly, I'm like, this is what happens when you make people dependent and entitled. And the government has done that to people.
Oh, yes.
I know we all have free will and we all make our choices. But you've put a group of people into a position where not only they need the government's help, they think it's owed to them.
Mm-hmm.
That's a disgusting thing to do to a person.
Yes, it is. Well,
and no one talks about that.
No. Well, it happens in a lot of, especially deep blue cities and states, a lot to especially black people, and it's a huge disservice. Where, I mean, like you look at the school situation, where they say, hey, and Mamdani in New York has talked about getting rid of gifted and talented programs in schools because it's racist. Baltimore is trying to clean up its act after years of just passing kids through because, well, we're going to lose out on funding if we have too many kids failing, and grades are racist, yada, yada, yada. You are absolutely setting the bar so low, in particular to one group of people in this country. And it is disgusting. And I would say that's pretty freaking racist.
It really is. Yes. But again, these people are never going to talk about that, the effects that they're having on these people. All right, let's move on. Katie Miller, schools, CNN on Karine Jean-Pierre. What's this?
Oh, I love this. So Katie Miller, husband is Stephen Miller, one of the top White House advisors. She was actually brought on to CNN. I don't know if she's ever going to be brought back after this, but she was on with Jake Tapper. One of the other commentators is some lady named Karen Finney.
Okay.
And they were talking about the former White House press secretary, Karine Jean-Pierre, doing her disastrous book tour, and even people on the left are mocking her because she's clearly an imbecile. And, I mean, that was clear as soon as she took to the podium. I mean, she's not very bright.
No.
And so Katie Miller brought up the point about how she was a DEI hire.
Okay.
What I think you're seeing and what Karen is attesting to is that she is quite incompetent to do the job, right? This is what Republicans have been saying for years now, is that she is just another evidence that DEI doesn't work.
Well, why are we assuming that she, as a black LGBT, gay woman, is DEI, but a white woman who is behind the podium right now, which DEI initially started as affirmative action, which was about affirmatively hiring women and minorities? Why is one DEI and the other is not?
Why did she get the job over John Kirby? Because as everyone has said this week, she is woefully incompetent.
She had the job long before John Kirby.
I will just say she.
What?
Yeah. John Kirby, who was what was it, like deputy spokesman or press secretary or something like that. Now he's a liar and he's a weasel. Yes. But he can form a sentence and he can actually. The job of the White House press secretary is to spin for the president.
Yep. Yes.
He can do that.
Oh yeah. I mean, he steps in it sometimes. You're trying to defend the indefensible.
Yeah.
Plenty of times. But the other thing that's funny, before we hear the end of this clip, of bringing up John Kirby, and we notice this all the time, when there was something really serious going on, they had to bring John Kirby in.
They did, yeah.
Like time and time again.
Because he was the guy that could actually communicate things.
Yes, without a binder.
Yeah.
Anyway, go ahead.
She used to be a commentator on CNN, then she was one on MSNBC. Mm-hmm. And she was good at that. Like, I mean, I'm without getting into the job I thought she did as press secretary, I thought it didn't seem crazy to me because she was eloquent as a commentator.
Why is she trained every 4 sentences to say she is a black, queer, LGBTQ woman? Because that's how she's been promoted her entire career.
Anyway, Katie Miller and Karen Finney. Thanks so much.
Well, and she wasn't very good at that job either. But, going on for a live hit for a segment that's like 5 to 10 minutes is one thing, because you can memorize your talking points and you can practice and do all of that. I don't even think she was that good at it either. But
no,
that's wildly different than having to go out there, and even if it's a friendly press corps, facing those questions.
Dude, remember the days she filled in for Jen Psaki when Psaki was still press secretary? It was a debacle.
Yes.
When she got promoted to the gig, you're like, oh my gosh, you got to be kidding me.
Yeah.
Yeah, and Katie Miller, she's just telling the truth there. Dude, sometimes you see people on TV or, whether it's a YouTube channel, whatever, pander to a level that is just embarrassing.
Mm-hmm.
To me, this is one of those. Jon Stewart. And for a lot of people across the country, they may not have agreed with Jon Stewart's politics all the time, but thought he was fairly funny. And he was the guy that built his career. I'm going to make fun of both sides. I'm going to go after everybody, blah, blah, blah. Him getting on his knees to praise Zohran Mamdani, comparing him to Jackie Robinson.
What?
Holy you haven't heard this?
I have not heard this, no.
So he's getting ready to interview him, and this is what he says.
There are so many different communities that are looking to you, and this, I hate to put it on you, as a bit of a Jackie Robinson moment. And I know that probably wields some weight, but man, oh man, what an exciting opportunity.
What?
An exciting opportunity for what?
For this communist Muslim to be mayor of New York? Breaking down norms? This barrier, I guess?
Like Jackie Robinson moment. Jackie Robinson was a Republican for most of his life.
Well, yeah, but he broke down barriers. I know it was the color barrier, and yes, there were death threats, and yes, he was taking, 90, 95 mile an hour fastballs, at his head. But Mamdani is taking on mean tweets and such. And he's really brave.
And his aunt, who was actually his dad's cousin, who didn't wear a hijab, was afraid to wear a hijab in New York City after 9/11.
Yeah, he got caught with that lie.
Yeah.
How did he excuse that? I never did hear.
Well, he said, and I've heard some people who don't like him at all kind of backing him up on that, is that in some cultures, if it's easier to say call somebody aunt or auntie than it is to say, oh yeah, my dad's cousin. So they count that as their aunt.
But she didn't wear the hijab.
Well, that's a totally different thing, though.
I mean, he said she was afraid to wear it.
Well, I think his actual aunt didn't wear the hijab. I think the person he was referring to did. I don't know. I mean, again, like the biggest issue is that he's saying, who was really the victim of 9/11? My family.
My family. Yes, my aunt, because she was afraid to wear the hijab.
Uh-huh.
Yes, that was really hard. Yeah. That crazy lib woman has a podcast, Jennifer Welch. She was on Bravo or whatever. Dude, she's all about Mamdani.
Yeah.
And called out Chuck Schumer and Hakeem the Dream as being, it is National Cat Day. That's what she said.
Listen up, Democratic establishment. You can either jump on board with this or we're coming after you in the same way that we come after MAGA. Period. Hakeem and Chuck should have been front and center introducing the next mayor of New York City, but no, they wouldn't show up because they're
the same way we come after MAGA. I mean,
yeah, that seemed like a threat. Well, and some people are like, are you talking about Charlie Kirk? What are you talking about with that? The violence? Never quite sure with them. All right. Great piece of audio we got to get to in the 5 stories we're watching today. Coming right up.
Sure, the weather's cooling off, but football season is heating up, and it's even better with Prize Picks. Here's the deal. Download the Prize Picks app, use code MVCR, and when you play your first $5, you'll get $50 instantly in lineups. That's $50 guaranteed just for playing. Prize Picks is super easy to use. Just pick 2 or more players, choose more or less on their stat projections. If you're right, you win. It's that simple. It's available in more than 40 states, including California, Texas, Florida, and Georgia. And your money's always safe, fast, and secure. Maybe even cash in on all those instincts. Who's falling in the standings and who is rising to the occasion? Make your pick on Prize Picks. Download the Prize Picks app today. Use code MVCR. You'll get $50 in lineups when you play your first $5 lineup. That's code MVCR and get $50 in lineups after you play your first $5 lineup. Prize Picks, it's good to be right. Must be present in certain states. Visit PrizePicks.com for restrictions and details.
I'm still going for it, even with higher stroke risk from atrial fibrillation, an irregular heartbeat not caused by a heart valve problem. Over a 3-year study, Eliquis apixaban tablets reduced stroke risk better than warfarin, and over 97% of Eliquis patients did not experience a stroke. A first stroke occurred in 2.9% of warfarin patients versus 2.3% of Eliquis patients.
Don't stop prescription Eliquis without asking your doctor. Stroke risk may increase. Eliquis can cause serious and potentially fatal bleeding. Don't take if you have an artificial heart valve, abnormal bleeding, or antiphospholipid syndrome. While taking, you may bruise more easily or bleed longer. A spinal injection increases blood clot risk, which may cause paralysis. Get medical help right away for unexpected bleeding or bruising, or back pain, tingling, numbness, muscle weakness, or incontinence. Aspirin products, NSAIDs, SSRIs, SNRIs, and blood thinners increase bleeding risk. Tell your doctor about planned medical or dental procedures. Learn more at Eliquis.com or call 1-855-ELIQUIS.
The Markley, Van Camp, and Robbins Show. Jamie Markley, David Van Camp, Scott Robbins out today. He will be back tomorrow. Now the 5 stories we're watching today.
1, 2. All right, number 5, the government is still shut down because Democrats are big fat crybabies. Number 4, Trump has fired all the sitting members of the Commission on Foreign Arts. No! This is an agency expected to review his construction projects. Now, Joe Biden fired the Trump appointees in 2021 because they were white. Didn't meet the diversity quotas.
But that was justified. This is terrible.
Tears of rage. Yeah, I'm sure there are tears of rage. On the world stage, number 3, Sudan's paramilitary forces killed hundreds of people, including patients in a maternity hospital, after they seized a city in the western Darfur region over the weekend, according to the UN. They shared video, some of them, of the. I mean, they just went into the hospital and started slaughtering people.
Oh, my gosh.
And notice that the Free Palestine people don't really seem to care about this.
Of course not.
Weird.
No. Yeah.
Number 2, Putin says Russia successfully tested its Poseidon nuclear-capable doomsday torpedo, which they claim is capable of triggering radioactive tsunamis, which would render coastal cities uninhabitable.
That
Russia.
Sounds terrifying, but you don't think there's really any.
I think they probably did some sort of successful test, how that would work out in the real world. I'm skeptical because it's Russia.
Exactly.
But
I'm sorry, man. I can't help but think Hank Johnson, what's going through his mind right now? And I bet it's concerns for Guam.
Yeah, my fear is that the whole island will become so overly populated that it will tip over and capsize.
Yes.
We don't anticipate that.
So you got a tsunami. You know, all the people are going to go to one side. The whole thing's just going to flip over.
All right. And then number 1, President Trump. It's not really the biggest story, I guess. I just love it. He was gifted a golden crown from South Korea, which he needs to wear that at some point.
Oh, it'd be so hilarious.
Thank you.
So those are the top 5 stories that we are watching today. If you want to lose meaningful weight at a healthy pace and keep it off, add lean to your diet and exercise routine. Get 20% off when you enter the code MVCR at TakeLean.com. So if you are a Democrat and a big fat crybaby, you can just be a crybaby instead. That's code MVCR at TakeLean.com.
Yes. I don't know if you've ever heard of this dude, Josh Sider. He just pushes people's buttons. No, there's been a lot of protests, a lot of rallies anti-ICE.
Yeah.
ICE needs to be shut down, do away with ICE, all of those things. So this dude, who happens to be white, dresses up in Indian garb, and he calls himself trans-indigenous. And he's talking with this white liberal dude about ICE, and it's just fairly funny.
I'm trans-indigenous.
Trans-indigenous.
Are you cis-American? I'm trans-indigenous for ICE. We love ICE.
You love ICE.
We
Why
love
is that?
ICE. We love ICE. Deport them all. You're all trespassers on our land.
Well,
Trans-indigenous people are indigenous people, and you're all trespassers on our land, and we want Bovino to deport all of you guys. We love ICE. Trans natives love ICE. We love you, ICE.
what nation are
We
you
love
from?
ICE.
All these people are staring at him. They don't know what to do with him. And the guy's sort of confused because he's not sure.
Trans nation is just as valid as cis nation. You're not trans native phobic, are you?
No, but I'm not
Okay, I'm
familiar
just
with that
checking.
term.
That's how you do it with these people. This is the Markley, Van Camp, and Robbins Show. All right, biggest story today, David?
Biggest story of the day is I am also coming out as a trans-Native American. This is a really
I support you in that.
I'm really hoping that you can accept me for who
Not
I am.
only do I accept you, consider me, David, an ally.
Okay, good. I'm glad that you are an ally here. Thank you for joining me on this journey.
What can I do as an ally? I want to do the work.
You can buy my dream catchers on Etsy.
Okay.
You can do that.
I will. I'll even get a dream catcher tattoo if you want.
Oh, that would be that would mean a lot to me, actually. It's been a difficult process. I've lost friends over it.
Continue on, brave soldier. Okay, get to that news update. The funny piece of audio. And what's your story coming right up? The Markley, Van Camp, and Robbins Show. Thank you so much for being here. I'm Jamie Markley, the Gen Xer. David Van Camp, the Millennial. The Sexy Boomer. Scott Robbins off today. He'll be back tomorrow. You're in a bit of a fever dream, David.
Well,
I want to lean into it, man. What we were just talking about off air.
Yeah, well, I just sometimes I'll just randomly think about things. Like I'm going through the archives of our show and to find some piece of audio from some time, and I remember something very vividly as it was happening, but I almost can't convince myself that it was real.
Okay.
And that was earlier this year, people were firebombing Tesla dealerships and charging stations.
Correct.
Otherwise, normal-looking individuals were keying random Teslas or
Yes.
otherwise defacing them.
Yes.
Because of Elon Musk.
They were convinced he's a Nazi.
And somehow that was going to do something to hurt Elon Musk.
Yes.
It is.
And the governor of Minnesota, Tim Walz, and others celebrated that.
Yes.
When the stock price was going down.
It is. It's been a hell of a 10 years since Trump came down that golden escalator.
Yes.
I understand. I don't think, I like sitting here now and I picture myself October 2015. And that was when it looked like the polls were not shifting away from Trump, really. And it's like,
No.
he could really do this. You know?
Yeah, more and more people were starting to take him serious.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
I could not imagine. And I remember being exhausted. I mean, it's not about me. It's not the hardest job in the world, what we do. But like by the time November of 2016 was coming around, I was like, I'm so ready for this election to
I
be
remember
over because
it
was just so crazy.
Mm-hmm.
And then he wins, and it's like, all right, let's see where this goes, you know?
Well, if you'd ever covered an election before, it does die down after the election.
Yeah.
And things got back to what you would call back then as, quote, normal.
Yeah. And
it's never been that way again.
I could not imagine sitting in this studio behind this microphone 10 years ago saying, in 10 years, Trump is going to be reelected in his second non-consecutive term, and the left's reaction is to attack Tesla drivers. I wouldn't know what to do with that information. I wouldn't know how to connect those dots.
It would have been impossible.
Like, wait, what? They're doing what?
That Elon Musk would change his politics.
Yeah.
And a lot of people say it's because one of his kids turned out to be, quote, trans.
Yeah.
And he watched what happened and realized, oh, my gosh, the left is so far off on so many different things that he changed his politics because he couldn't stand Trump and Trump couldn't stand him.
Yeah.
And then they came together and then we're like, oh, no, what's this breakup going to be like when that happens? And then it happens,
Yeah.
But in retrospect, I don't think we could have saw at the time the reason the left and the left around the world were so afraid of Trump was that he wouldn't go along with any of their programs.
Yeah.
He was going to do his own thing. He was the great disruptor of all of it. And that's why they went after him like they did.
Yeah.
I mean, think about the Russia collusion stuff.
Yeah.
Yes, it's a wild ride.
And I think, again, like when we've got the shutdown politics going on right now, where Democrats are just lost.
Yes.
I mean, they have done this to themselves. They have beaten themselves into the ground where the only thing they stand for is unbridled rage about Donald Trump. And there's part of me that almost feels bad for them, but makes me feel worse for the people who have gone along with this campaign of hate.
Yes, I think, and the one thing that Trump does that they really hate is he rubs it right in their face.
Yes.
But I'm also convinced, whether it'll be J.D. Vance, whoever, the same sort of hate's going to come to them. Well, just like it did for Elon Musk.
Yeah, that's the only thing they have right now, and it's for the leadership, screw the leadership. They're the ones who did this, and people in media and all of that.
Dude, they couldn't do it without media.
Yeah.
Media has poisoned half the country.
Yes.
I am convinced of that because I'll still say there are a lot of people, if they knew the truth about everything, they would be disgusted with media and the left. I mean, think of it this way. Trump, he exposed so many things. And you and I have admitted this before, and not everybody admits it, but I think this is true for a lot of people. We all knew the media leaned left. We had no freaking idea how far in the tank they were, and just really the arm of the Democratic Party, and whatever talking points they would put forth.
Yeah.
He exposed the media. And you look at today, one of the things we're talking about, he exposed the climate change hoax.
Yes, he did.
And even Bill Gates has to admit that now.
Yes. Well, yeah, yesterday he suddenly came out and said, climate change isn't going to end humanity next week. And that's been a big deal among the climate cult. And to me, I think what he says is perfectly reasonable, even if I think he sort of overshoots on climate change and humanity's role in it.
Mm-hmm.
I think he's got a pretty good point that, like, hey, we should be putting more effort into solving things that are tangible, that we can actually see a result from.
Well, yeah, you say it now. Some of us have been saying that for years.
Oh, absolutely.
And you were demonized for it.
Yeah, and he was on CNBC talking about this.
Okay.
Climate is a super important problem. There's enough innovation here to avoid super bad outcomes. We won't achieve our best goal, the 1.5 or even the 2 degrees. And as we go about trying to minimize that, we have to frame it in terms of overall human welfare, not just everything should be solely for climate.
See, well, it's like you have to say that now. Let's go into the Wayback Machine with Bill Gates and Al Gore and Greta, Obama, all these people.
So certainly by the end of the century, you'll have permanent die-offs of all these coral ecosystems. No beach you ever went to will be around.
We're still putting 162 million tons into it every single day, and the accumulated amount is now trapping as much extra heat as would be released by 600,000 Hiroshima-class atomic bombs exploding every single day on the Earth.
People are suffering.
Of course.
People are dying.
Yeah.
Entire ecosystems are collapsing.
Yeah.
We are in the beginning of a mass extinction.
12 years.
The future seems somewhat bleak. There are times where I am doubtful that humanity can get its act together before it's too late. And images of dystopia start creeping into my dreams.
It's an all-out effort, like a world war, but it's us against greenhouse gases.
Yeah. Okay.
I like, though, there are some lefties throwing temper tantrums over this. They're rebranding it as MAGAsoft instead of Microsoft. It's a sickness, man. I mean, and that's really what got me thinking about the Tesla fire bombings and all of that. Just how nuts so much of the left is right now.
It is, dude. There's no doubt about that. All right, I know. Time to move on. May not be the biggest story out there, but we do this a couple of times a day. Something got your attention. You know what? I'll go ahead and make this my story on the same theme we were talking about. Because John Stossel used to be with ABC News and was highly respected. He's independent now. He got a little too common sense for, modern day media. Dude, he's exposed this before, and there was another video put out after Bill Gates says this stuff. And it starts,
this environmental catastrophe bearing down on us.
I keep hearing that we're killing the earth.
How dare you?
And he goes through all these different people saying this stuff. And, he did. And remember we used to talk about this? Would say, why don't they just have a debate?
Yeah.
Put it on, national TV. Here are the people that say, hey, let's look at all of the data that we have on the climate reasonably. And no one would ever do it. He tried to do it.
This claim?
We have 12 years to act.
We have 12 years.
12 years before the effects are irreversible.
Really?
Swalwell.
12 years?
It's warmed up around 1 degree Celsius since 1900, and life expectancy doubled the industrialized democracies. And yet that temperature ticks up another half a degree, and the entire system crashes. That's the most absurd belief.
I recently moderated this debate on climate change at the Heartland Institute. Well, not a debate, because the alarmists who were invited didn't show.
Really?
Heartland invited many.
Please come over here and sit next to that place and let's have a discussion. There are a lot more people want to hear what you have to say.
But they wouldn't do it.
No,
and
because it's a
they
grift.
never debated.
Yeah.
Which gives away the game. So that's my story. What's your story for What's Your Story, David?
Authorities in Jasper County, Mississippi say 3 monkeys remain on the loose after a truck transporting research animals from Tulane National Biomedical Research Center overturned on Interstate 59. I believe now 2 of them have been captured. 1 on the loose is the latest update that I have seen. The Jasper County Sheriff's Department confirmed that, yes, a number of missing monkeys increased from, this is the update, increased from 1 to 3 after Tulane officials were able to safely access the wrecked truck and conduct an official count. 6 of the 21 monkeys on board got out. 3 have been recovered. 3 remaining are still unaccounted for. They are aggressive research monkeys, we're being told.
Aggressive.
And the animals are carrying hepatitis C, herpes, and COVID.
What?
Yeah.
Oh, dear goodness.
Yes, this is how it ends.
Wow. Are they spreading monkeypox?
Well, it's Mpox, sir. We want to get rid of the stigma.
All the monkeys are like, we got nothing to do with this.
Right.
Leave us out of it. Golly. Well, thank you for that scary story.
They got hepatitis and herpes somehow. Maybe they were part of monkeypox.
Oh, boy. All right, another update to get to. And Nimrod's in the news coming right up. It's fall already. That means chili cookouts, holiday get-togethers, and a boatload of Halloween candy. As great as all of those things might taste, the reality is that all of the heavy foods, sweets, and adult beverages put an extraordinary strain on your liver. And when your liver isn't happy, neither is the rest of you. Bloating, indigestion, fatigue, those are all signs that your liver needs some love.
And you can help your liver out with a daily dose of Active Liver from New Nordic. It's a simple way to keep your liver healthy, even when your diet isn't. All it takes is just a couple of great-tasting gummies a day to help give your body's filter the support it needs. It might even make you feel a little less guilty when you raid your kids' Halloween haul, too. Enjoy all the fantastic flavors and treats of fall without the bloating and fatigue. Make Active Liver your healthy new habit starting today. You can find Active Liver online at Amazon or pick some up at your local CVS, Meijer Grocery, and it's now available at ShopRite. Check it out, Active Liver from New Nordic.
I'm still going for it, even with higher stroke risk from atrial fibrillation, an irregular heartbeat not caused by a heart valve problem. Over a 3-year study, Eliquis apixaban tablets reduced stroke risk better than warfarin, and over 97% of Eliquis patients did not experience a stroke. A first stroke occurred in 2.9% of warfarin patients versus 2.3% of Eliquis patients.
Don't stop prescription Eliquis without asking your doctor. Stroke risk may increase. Eliquis can cause serious and potentially fatal bleeding. Don't take if you have an artificial heart valve, abnormal bleeding, or antiphospholipid syndrome. While taking, you may bruise more easily or bleed longer. A spinal injection increases blood clot risk, which may cause paralysis. Get medical help right away for unexpected bleeding or bruising, or back pain, tingling, numbness, muscle weakness, or incontinence. Aspirin products, NSAIDs, SSRIs, SNRIs, and blood thinners increase bleeding risk. Tell your doctor about planned medical or dental procedures. Learn more at Eliquis.com or call 1-855-ELIQUIS.
The Markley, Van Camp, and Robbins Show. Yeah, probably remember all the fad diets over the years, right? Juice cleanses, cabbage soup, raw food. They can work for a while, but once you stop, most times the weight comes right back. In fact, by the time most people hit 60, they've lost and regained hundreds of pounds, and you probably had no idea how much damage that back and forth can do. Doctors actually have a name for it, and it's called weight cycling.
Yeah, about half of Americans do it. If it goes on long enough, it raises your risk for things like diabetes, liver damage, even heart attack and stroke. So if you need help to stop the cycle, well, that's where Lean comes in. It's a non-prescription oral supplement. It works like those shots, but without the prescriptions and needles. Lean's studied ingredients target weight loss in 3 big ways. It helps maintain healthy blood sugar levels, it helps control appetite and cravings, and it helps burn fat by converting fat into energy, which means you're more likely to keep the weight off. So if you want to lose meaningful weight at a healthy pace and keep it off, add Lean to your diet and exercise routine. Get 20% off when you enter the code MVCR at TakeLean.com. That's code MVCR at TakeLean.com.
News update, David Van Camp.
Well, we got Brandon Johnson, the mayor of Chicago, talking about what the Trump administration is doing on the streets of the Windy City.
Cleaning them up?
No, this was news to me.
Okay.
No one is going to convince me what the Trump administration is doing against black people and brown people can ever be justified. It is racist. When you have black babies being thrown in the back of vans, zip-tied in the middle of the night, and masked men sticking guns in the faces of black and brown people, that is nasty, is vicious, is racist. Dr. King described it as an evil. Militarism and that formation is an evil.
Where's the video?
Well, there was that one video that made the rounds that claimed to be ICE detaining a toddler, a black toddler. Mm-hmm. But remember, that was a dad in East Texas who had put this video out. I guess he's a cop, and he put a video out of him playing cops and robbers with his son.
Yes.
It was a game, and he was blown away that people were using that and saying that was in Chicago.
Well, the thing is, you've got cell phone cameras everywhere.
Yeah.
And if what he's claiming is true, there would be some evidence of it, wouldn't there?
You would think so, yes.
Okay. And a lot of times you're talking about people breaking the law.
Mm-hmm.
Is it racist to arrest people for breaking the law?
Well, in his world, actually, unironically, yes.
That's the way it seems.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. Well, I guess when people tell you who they are, you should believe them. And he's done that many, many times. From the Wall Street Journal today, they do like a rundown of some of the big stories that they're talking about. The nation's largest employers have a new message for office workers. Help not wanted. From Amazon to UPS. Employers are making deep cuts, hoping AI can handle more of the work that well-paid white-collar workers have been doing. This has been talked about for a long time.
It's the AI apocalypse, man. And it's really bad for especially like recent college grads going into these lower entry-level jobs.
Yes.
Because those jobs can pretty easily be automated and handled instead of like 4 people doing something. It's one guy with AI.
Yeah.
I mean, this is, pretty catastrophic. I mean, it's very similar to the robots entering the assembly lines.
Remember Charlie Kirk talking about that several times on college campuses. There was pushback, but he was saying, yeah, it looks like this is going to happen. All right, we got to get to Nimrods. Here we go.
When the going gets tough,
Damn it, this is too hard.
the dumb get dumber.
All right, Ian.
It's Nimrods in the News on the Markley, Van Camp, and Robbins Show.
I love the poorly educated.
All right. Nimrod's the news. Well, for our friends in Vegas, you may already know this story. The director of the Las Vegas committee tackling DUI issues is facing a DUI charge.
Well,
yep. The director of the Clark County committee tasked with solving criminal justice issues is now facing a DUI. That is Lindsay LaMontagne. Now, she describes where she works, the Clark County Criminal Justice Coordinating Council, as a partnership of decision makers and community agency representatives who have a stake in the effective administration of justice.
Well,
that's a lot of words.
Yeah.
In addition, the panel, comprised of police, judges, and other leaders, posts its objectives as providing a voice for those impacted by the criminal justice system to include at-risk communities, families, and victims. It just goes on from that.
I hate that. Impacted by the criminal justice system.
Yes. Well, the cops got a call this night about a driver that was swerving all over the road, had driven off the road approximately 5 times.
Oh, gosh.
Oh, yeah. So they stopped her. She says, I'm not drunk. I just had 2 shots of Tito's while I was at a casino. So then the trooper arrested her for DUI. She said, you ruined my life. That's Nimrod's in the news.
Jamie Markley, David Van Camp, and Scott Robbins.
Did we just become best friends? Yep.
Making sense of it all.
Now I get it.
And having some fun.
Lighten up, Francis.
This is the Markley, Van Camp, and Robbins Show.
The Markley, Van Camp, and Robbins Show. Jamie Markley, David Van Camp. Scott Robbins is out. He'll be back tomorrow. News update, David Van Camp.
Well, I got a couple of news updates here. One is that the Federal Reserve has cut interest rates by 25 basis points. Again, lowering interest rates, good. And we expect a couple more rate cuts in the coming months. So, again, a little too late is what many people have been saying, especially because we've had all these downward revisions in the job market. And I love how they're saying, well, we're not really sure if we're going to lower interest rates anymore because the Trump administration is blacking out a lot of the jobs data. It's like, well, the jobs data was freaking useless.
It was.
When you're off like 2 years in a row by, what was it, like 1 million?
Like, what, 900,000? Whatever, close to that, yes.
That's a problem. And so, what good is that data if you're going to have to come back? I understand, downward revisions, upward revisions, those happen just because of the way that they gather data. But when you're off by 1 million, and then it turns out that with all of the revisions, you look back in the Biden years and there was virtually no job creation. The supposedly hot job market is why they didn't want to lower the rates to begin with.
Yes.
It's like, well, okay, that job market was stale, and you should have just pumped the gas earlier.
It was all the COVID jobs that came back, and then it's like, well, they're creating jobs.
Yeah.
No.
Yeah.
People are just going back to work.
Mm-hmm.
So you have that. And then, what, Chuck Schumer's getting testy?
Oh, he got a little bit testy. Yes, he sure did. At a press conference today, they were talking about the new thing for Democrats is the Trump administration needs to release contingency funds in order to keep food stamps afloat for like 2 to 3 weeks instead of just voting to open up the government.
Yeah.
I don't understand why Democrats wouldn't do this, but maybe they're just in too deep. I don't know. But Chuck Schumer was asked about this, asked about the food stamps running out as of Saturday.
Okay.
Democrats have no responsibility for the fact that
We are saying the Republicans can fund it now, and they're using these people as hostages. Plain and simple. Next. That's the answer.
No, but you have multiple members saying this is the only leverage we have. Sheldon Whitehouse literally called people who were going to be losing their SNAP benefits the only levers that they had.
Didn't Chris Coons say the same thing a month ago?
A lot of people have said that.
Yes. No, dude. I mean, what? You can't ask the follow-up? No, you could vote to reopen it today.
Well, she tried to. The reporter
but he
said,
won't have it. That's the answer.
Yeah.
He's not very good.
No, he's not. I mean, it's just
His
one
days are
thing.
numbered.
You look at it, and it's like, I think Nancy Pelosi is a bad person.
Yep.
But when she was the top Democrat, she was ruthless when she was really in her prime, was absolutely ruthless in making people see things her way in her party.
Oh, the threat was there.
And she, even with the squad in her golden years, she was able to dog walk AOC around the Capitol. I mean,
those days are over now, though.
It's over because she's not really in that position of authority anymore. And that's why you're seeing AOC basically now dog walk Chuck Schumer and Hakeem Jeffries around.
Yes, that is true. By the way, speaking of Pelosi, John Carl from ABC has another book coming out about the election last year. And he's talked about this secret meeting between Nancy Pelosi and Biden that very few knew about, where she was basically telling him, you got to drop out. But she wouldn't actually say that.
Yeah.
But there was prayer involved. Have you heard this?
No.
Oh, yeah. Roll it.
She goes to have a secret meeting with Joe Biden in the White House. As the meeting concludes, and, Pelosi's not telling him directly to get out, but reiterating the message that she said to Jonathan, that these two devout Catholics take out their rosaries and they say a prayer together. And Pelosi leaves. It is the last time that they had any meaningful exchange of words.
Prayer whether or not to stay in the race? How about praying whether or not you should be supporting abortion the way you do?
Well,
as devout Catholics. Just a question. I'm not Catholic, but seems like a legit question to ask.
Yeah. I like that.
Nah.
They always got to sneak in the devout Catholics. Okay.
I know devout Catholics that take great offense at that.
Yes.
But they do it anyway, man. That whole thing is interesting. And, man, what a civil war is going on in that party right now.
Well.
And I know, maybe I will say it every day. I don't know how the party survives. Now, with what you got going on in New York with Mamdani and so many people supporting that, and the far left has just taken over the party, and that's upside down with most of the American people. So we'll see where.
Again, just a reminder, as there are some similar arguments happening, or there are some arguments happening on the right about who to platform, and I hate that word, but who to promote, who to sort of eschew. The Democrats are proving right now how important that conversation really is, because there is such a thing as too big of a tent. If you let too many lunatics in, they're going to rule you at some point.
Well, yeah, and you have to be on the same page when it comes to the issues. And they're just not there. Well, what was Hakeem trying to say today? Republicans have weaponized hunger?
Yes, they have weaponized hunger.
Really?
According to the top Democrat in the House, who is also a big-time sombrero enthusiast, I'm told.
He loves that, yes.
Over 1 million New Yorkers are at risk of going hungry because of the Republican decision to weaponize hunger as part of their continuing effort to shut down the government.
I'm sorry, Hakeem. That's all I can see every time you talk.
That line of argument doesn't work when you literally have Democrats on Capitol Hill saying, we're using this as leverage.
Right.
I mean, they have weaponized hunger, I guess.
Yeah. Okay, moving on. Trump, the big Asia trip. Oh, the Toyota deal. That seemed like a pretty good deal. Boy, that's not being celebrated much by people on the left. No, he's dancing over there and promoting his ballroom while people are going hungry. Okay, whatever.
I was just told by the Prime Minister that Toyota is going to be putting auto plants all over the United States to the tune of over $10 billion.
Wow. Deal's getting done.
It's good.
Remember when he talked about Japan years and years and years ago with Oprah?
Oh, yeah.
Like they're ripping us off. Mm-hmm. And now, I mean, he's, at least what he says, a big fan of Japan. And he's always loved Japan. I mean, he lays it on, man.
Yeah.
You got to love this. Roll it.
I have always had a great love of Japan and a great respect of Japan.
Respect, yes.
And I will say that this will be a relationship that will be stronger than ever before. We are an ally at the strongest level.
Yeah, big trade deal.
Yeah. Well, and I think, just because he said they're ripping them off way back when, and I think he still stands by that, I do believe him when he says I respect them a lot. Because I think even to Oprah, didn't he say, like, well, they can get away with it?
Yes,
and why wouldn't
more
they
power
get away
to
with
him?
it?
Yes. Well, I can remember people ripping Trump 2016 where he's talking about, hey, he knows how to get deals done. And you're talking about tough negotiators. And you go to these guys in Japan, and they're like,
we want deals.
Yeah, I remember.
they're tough. We want deal. Okay. Yeah. You got to applaud that. Well, I mean, if you're just looking at it and you're on the side of the United States, that's a good thing. Boy, there was a clip I haven't played for you yet. Gavin Newsom goes on CNN. He'll talk to anybody. And, he's tried to get on Joe Rogan's show for a while. I haven't heard Rogan talk about it. At least in my mind, if you're Joe Rogan and your podcast, who do you put on? People that you think would be interesting, for your audience, or that you would be interested in talking to.
Yeah.
He doesn't know anything to anybody.
No, he doesn't.
But Gavin Newsom can't quite relate to that because he hasn't had him on, and he's kind of talked about wanting to be on. But now he's over it. He's done. Mm-hmm. You know why?
Why?
Because Joe Rogan's not that big a deal. and this is how he says it. Roll it.
For years and years, he's been attacking me, and it's one way, and he won't have me on. He's consistently not having me on. By the way, I'm moving on. I have no interest. You're done with him? Joe Rogan's the Facebook of podcasting.
Joe Rogan's got a pretty big audience still, though.
You know what? But with all due respect, if he has a big audience but he doesn't have big enough confidence, I didn't go there, to have me on.
So Joe Rogan doesn't have the stones to put you on. That's freaking hilarious.
I mean, he's still got like the number 1 or number 2 podcast in America. I don't think that.
Yeah, it's yesterday's news. It's the Facebook of podcasting, David. Come on.
Golly. Well, he's the MySpace of politicians. So.
Yeah, pretty close, man.
I would actually be interested in hearing a 3-hour conversation. I'd be interested in hearing Gavin Newsom try to keep his cool during a 3-hour conversation with somebody who sees through his BS.
Well, and I got to believe that Rogan, as soon as he starts slinging the BS, he'd be like, that's not what she said. No, that's not what she said. Jamie, pull it up. Pull it up. You'd go to the producer, and they'd pull it up, and then they just play it right in front of him. It would be a debacle for Newsom, I got to believe. I mean, there was a reason Kamala Harris never went on that show.
Oh, yeah. Then they tried to blame Joe Rogan for it, and Joe's like, come on.
Yes. I mean, that would have been the end of her. To anybody that says she really made a mistake by not going on that show, I don't believe that to be true.
No.
The one thing of everything that we've talked about today that I will take away from the show, like if, sometimes afterwards someone will say, how was the show today? So what was the big topic? I think it's going to be, it's possible that white people are going to be eaten very soon. And they'll say, what? What are you talking about? Well, there's this woman on social media, and there's a lot of people griping about losing SNAP benefits, but they said in the end, they're not going to go hungry. They're going to eat white people. Holy mackerel, dude.
But I'm here to let you know that we are going to eat regardless, even if we have to hunt you animals down and roast and eat you. The delectable crackers and cheese. We will make it happen if we have to. Trust and believe me.
Whoa.
Well, from your own logic, though, how are you going to get the cheese?
That's right.
You can't go to the grocery store, I guess.
Yeah, because you still need SNAP for the government cheese, don't you?
Right.
Yeah. It's going to be tough.
What a bind.
I guess. Yeah. All right. The 5 stories we're watching today in a news update coming right up.
Finding great candidates to hire can be like, well, trying to find a needle in a haystack. Sure, you can post your job to some job board, but then all you can do is hope the right person comes along, which is why you should try ZipRecruiter for free at ZipRecruiter.com/free. ZipRecruiter doesn't depend on candidates finding you. Its powerful technology identifies people with the right experience and actively invites them to apply to your job. You get qualified candidates fast. So while other companies might deliver a lot of hay, ZipRecruiter finds you what you're looking for. The needle in the haystack.
4 out of 5 employers who post a job in ZipRecruiter get a quality candidate through the site within the first day. ZipRecruiter, the smartest way to hire. And right now, you can try ZipRecruiter for free. That's right, free. Just go to this exclusive web address, ZipRecruiter.com/free. That's ZipRecruiter.com/free. ZipRecruiter.com/free.
Wesley Financial Group is not a law firm.
Hi, I'm Chuck McDowell, the timeshare cancellation guy. In 2011, I founded Wesley Financial Group with one goal in mind, to help honest folks out of their timeshares permanently. Today, I run Wesley with my 2 sons, a real family business, treating every client and every employee like we'd want our own family treated. That philosophy has helped us grow into the largest, most trusted timeshare cancellation company in the United States. Fortune magazine even recognized us as one of the best places to work. Why? Because we genuinely care. In fact, some of our former clients were so moved by their experience working with us, they joined our team so they could help others to timeshare freedom. If you're stuck in a timeshare, give us a call. Let our family help your family.
Call Wesley now for your free timeshare exit kit. 800-858-1199. That's 800-858-1199. 800-858-1199.
The Markley, Van Camp, and Robbins Show. Jamie Markley, David Van Camp, Scott Robbins out today, back tomorrow, and now the 5 stories we're watching today.
1, 2, 3, 4, 5.
All right, number 5, the government is still shut down because Democrats are big fat crybabies. Number 4, President Trump was gifted a golden crown from South Korea. Oh, no, he's a king. It's awesome.
Wear it.
Number 3, Putin says he is offering journalists a chance to look at 2 areas in Ukraine that he says are surrounded by his forces, basically to allow the world to witness Ukrainian soldiers being killed en masse if Zelensky doesn't surrender. It's evil, man.
Whoa.
Yeah, it's like, hey, well, leadership in Ukraine can work out the deal and save their lives, or we can kill them all. Ukraine says that they are not surrounded in the cities that he mentioned. Who knows what the truth is, but Vladimir Putin is saying, oh, I'll pause the war to allow journalists to safely go in there. You can even talk to some of the soldiers.
Wow.
Yeah.
I just thought of something, too.
What's that?
Well, the left and the relationship with Ukraine. At certain points in time, it's like the biggest story out there. Mm-hmm. Like all attention on Ukraine, right? And you had Zelensky asking for the Tomahawks. Mm-hmm. Trump didn't give him the Tomahawks.
Right.
Okay. And now you've got Putin with his stance right now. If it really meant that much to people on the left, you'd hear screaming about it right now.
Oh, yeah.
You're not hearing anything.
Well,
because they're focused on SNAP benefits.
Yeah, that's something that really jumps out at you a little bit. Basically saying, yeah, we can make this a snuff film or you can surrender.
Right.
Oof.
Yeah, man.
Declassified documents for number 3 from the FBI's Operation Arctic Frost. They confirm that, they, among others, targeted the COO of Turning Point USA, Tyler Boyer. They were profiling him. Well, the funny thing is, too, he's actually the COO of Turning Point Action.
Okay.
Technically related, but different organization. But, yeah, they were going to look into whatever he was up to. I mean, this is crazy. Some of the declassified documents, they were basically following anybody who was conservative or didn't like the FBI.
Yes.
And they were going to go after them. I thought we were talking about, like, no Kings rallies 5 minutes ago, right?
Yeah. How could you weaponize the Department of Justice?
Yes. How dare you?
Mm-hmm.
Yes, this is definitely not as serious as charging someone with mortgage fraud, who pretty clearly, at least seems to have committed mortgage fraud.
Seems like there's plenty of evidence there for that.
Then, number 1, good news on the economic front. The Federal Reserve has cut interest rates by 25 basis points for the second time this year.
It's good news.
Yep.
This not exactly good news. I don't know if you happen to see this study. 91% of patients in study show cardiovascular side effects from Moderna vaccine.
Oh, man.
Boy, oh, boy. Okay, and then you dig into this story a little bit. And again, remember what happened if you were just asking questions at the time, especially about, boys and myocarditis.
Yeah.
You couldn't do it. You were a vaccine denier.
Oh, yeah.
You're like, well, hold on a second. It just seems we are seeing plenty of cases, and they've seen this overseas, of this affecting young, healthy males. And you were just shouted down for it.
Mm-hmm.
And again, this is just a few years ago. And you wonder, okay, 10 years later, after the vaccines, hit the shelves, what are we going to see?
Yeah.
And that's a little spooky. And most
sure
people
is.
are not going to go for that ever again.
Oh, yeah, I think so. The public trust has been lost.
Yeah. And I don't know if it's going to come back in the next 10 years.
Oh, it's going to be a while, yeah.
Yeah. This is the Markley, Van Camp, and Robbins Show. All right. If there's one big story today, what would you give it up to?
Well, probably the Federal Reserve, again, sort of decelerating their interest rate hike program. As, again, I mean, the job, quote-unquote, job creation under Joe Biden was completely non-existent based on the revisions from the Bureau of Labor Statistics. And so now it's like, all right, yeah, okay, maybe the job market isn't as good as as the bean counters have been telling us it is.
Yeah. This is interesting. You haven't heard this yet. A host on CNN is making the case that Trump is effective, but he's effective in taking a lot of Democratic ideas and implementing them. We'll try to make sense of that and a news update in just a few. The Markley, Van Camp, and Robbins Show. Jamie Markley, David Van Camp, Scott Robbins out today. He will be back tomorrow. Okay, we're going to try to make sense of this together. Abby Phillip from CNN. Very low rated. That is true.
Yeah.
But she's seen a lot on X when she has Scott Jennings on.
Yes.
Sort of the saving grace there. She's on with Charlemagne the Fraud. And she's actually saying Trump is effective. But he takes a lot of Democratic ideas. So this is about a minute and a half. We'll go through this adventure together.
When you look at what Trump is doing as president, in a way, he's challenging capitalism. He's putting tariffs on countries indiscriminately, just because he wants to, making the case that he's doing it for Americans. He is taking government stakes in private companies. That's a Bernie Sanders idea, by the way. He is creating
tariffs, Bernie?
Yeah, I think so. With the tariffs, yeah, that's not really a traditional Republican stance at all.
I understand that. But Bernie, we need to tariff all these countries. If that's been said, I don't remember it.
Yeah, he's kind of squishy on the tariffs thing.
Okay.
He hasn't talked a whole lot about it because he's like, I don't want to agree with Donald Trump.
Because if you were all about it, it'd be like, well, yeah, this is what we should be doing. Okay. She goes
Creating a government website where people can shop around for prescription drugs, another Bernie Sanders idea. So his willingness to just take some of these ideas the Democrats have been talking about and just do them, no matter how controversial they are, has been one of the things that, whether you like him or not, what people will say about Trump is that he does what he says.
Right, pause there for a second. You go back to 2015. Remember the first debate? Well, you all signed the pledge that you'll get behind whoever.
Yeah.
There was one guy that wouldn't. Trump.
Well, yeah.
It depends on who it is.
Yeah, of course.
Which made sense. I mean, he's never gone along on a number of different things. He's the one that talked about doing a deal with Dreamers. People freaked out at the time. Yes, he has done that.
And I think that Democrats, one of the big problems that they have is that voters don't think they're going to do what they say.
That's a fact.
They say all the right things, but they don't think they're going to do what they say. And so whether it's challenging, you can call it challenging capitalism or challenging whatever, voters want to know that you're willing to buck the system for them. And I think Trump does that right now in a way that really shakes people up and makes people really mad. But that is also why a lot of voters, whether they like him or not, they will describe him as effective.
So what do you think of that?
I think the last point is very true in that they wanted somebody who's going to buck the system. And we've known this for years that Trump is not at all the sort of standard Republican. And he has reshaped that party into something that can actually be competitive now. Because you do take ideas from all over the place. For him, it's always seemed like I remember when I was kind of skeptical of Trump in 2015 or early 2016. And I got a message. It was a great message because that was a crazy time to be in this business because I remember even Rush Limbaugh going off because he's like, I've got you people who like Rubio on one line and the Cruz people and the Trump people. And it's like there were people who were very passionate about whoever was their guy in the primary.
Yeah.
But I got a really nice note from somebody who just said, here's the thing. I understand why you're skeptical and you're kind of wondering, okay, is this really going to work? Whatever. He goes, but here's the thing about Trump is that he's not, right wing. He's not traditional conservative. He's first and foremost pragmatic. In that he says, okay, what makes the most amount of sense for whatever it is that we're talking about in the end? The road to get there may seem chaotic, but that's always been his deal is we'll kind of throw everything at the wall and then see what makes sense once we're sort of putting the pieces back together.
Yeah.
And that's what Trump has done. So you want to talk about tariffs. Is that a traditionally left-wing idea? Well, kind of-ish. Protectionism in general, yeah. Is that an outright challenge to capitalism? I personally don't see it that way. Because what it is,
so you're
really,
trying to keep jobs in the United States because people sold the country out.
Yes.
Decade after decade, especially starting in the 90s.
Yes, it is, which was a bipartisan phenomenon. It's not about challenging capitalism. It's about, challenging a system where 5 companies control 90% of the goods.
Yeah. So I thought that was very interesting. There's another change going on that's been going on for a while. And it's a lot of black Americans not going along with what has been traditionally like talking points and people seeing through the BS. And especially when you have a platform on social media and you can get a following, you're spreading that message all over the place. And there are more and more black conservatives using their voice on social media. Don't know if you're familiar with the account Black MAGA Preacher.
No, I'm not familiar with Black Magic. I almost said Black Magic Preacher. Black MAGA Preacher.
Well, you're looking at what's happening in Virginia with the governor's race. And all these people had talked about, hey, you got to vote for this black woman, Kamala Harris, because she knows who you are. Remember Obama saying that?
Yeah.
But in Virginia, for the governor's race, it's completely different. You got to vote for the white woman.
Yeah.
And that's just being called out.
So the NAACP is endorsing the liberal white woman in Virginia over the conservative Christian faith-filled black woman in Virginia for candidate. The NAACP needs to be disbanded. This is an organization that I have no respect for, that at one time did so much for the African American experience in this country, has now become a laughingstock and a joke, has become an organization with no morals, no values, and doesn't represent the civil rights movement that were led by mostly a lot of Christian ministers. It has become a Marxist organization that endorses transgenderism, that destroys the black community, that endorses everything demonic and evil about that's toxic about the black community. You have a woman, they would endorse a white woman, a liberal white woman, over a black woman just because she has an R in front of her name and not a D in front of her name.
Yeah. Are you seeing that more than you've ever seen it in your life?
I am. Well, especially because, like, you brought up the lecturing from Obama last year about how, hey, why won't you vote for this black woman? And, like, that's the only thing that should matter to young black men. That was his message.
She knows your experience.
Yeah, that's the only thing that should matter. It's not policy. It's not anything else. It's the color of the skin. And then they turn around and say, well, we got to actually, in Virginia, elect the whitest woman who ever lived.
Exactly.
Because she knows your experience, too. What?
Yeah. I have a piece of audio that I've saved for this time of the show, because usually this is about the start of the Scott Robbins trifecta. Mm-hmm. This is something that Scott has brought up, I don't know how many times, and that is...
Scott.
I know, yeah.
I miss you.
I know, Casey. Yeah, he'll be back tomorrow. And that is when you have someone in news that will be announcing different names, but if it's a Hispanic name, they're going to give it the accent.
Yes.
It drives him bananas. And sometimes you'll just incorporate it for fun, David.
Mm-hmm.
Is it Rob Fennerty on Newsmax?
Yeah.
He'd had it. And he does a tour de force on this. And you know what? We'll probably have to play it for Robbins tomorrow, but I know he would enjoy this very much.
On another note, tonight, the New York City mayoral debate last night, but I'm less interested in what the candidates actually said, and I'm more interested in why we keep doing this.
Government Affairs reporter Melissa Russo, senior politics editor at Politico Sally Goldenberg, and Telemundo 47 anchor Rosarena Breton. This is a 2-hour debate.
All right, so we have talked about this, and I just don't get why we do this, who started it, when this started. But whenever it is a Spanish name, we are all suddenly required and expected to shapeshift into the perfect Spanish accent.
All right, before he goes on, do you know when this started, David? Has it always been this way?
I think it depends on what communities you live in.
Okay.
And really, like, so if there is somebody who has a Spanish accent who, you know, who just introduces themselves as David, then it's like, okay, well, I'm going to call you David because that's how I pronounce it, but not a big deal. But I have seen that. I mean, I've made the joke, like going to Whataburger with a friend of mine who was basically, he was Mexican-American, but had a very thick Texas drawl until he was asking for the picante sauce. That always tripped me out a little bit.
Fennerty goes on.
Normal, everyday news people do it all the time. They forget years of training. They forget their non-regional diction. That Telemundo anchors, by the way, Rosarena Brenton. Just say Rosarena Brenton. But for whatever reason, we all feel the need to pronounce it like we're living in Mexico, like we're living in a country where Spanish is the native tongue. That's not the case here in the U.S. Rosarena Britannia. He said it. I couldn't understand what he was saying. As I've said before, I am Irish. And if I was moderating that debate, would the host introduce me as Robert James Finnerty, don't you know, the little lad? That is Robert James Finnerty. If the host was Chinese, would they then introduce that person with a Chinese accent? I don't think so. So stop doing it when they're Spanish. Just stop it. Also, we don't need to say all three names when they are Spanish. No one describes me as Robert James Finnerty. I'm just Rob Finnerty. We don't need to say Kilmar Abregu Garcia. It's just Kilmar Garcia. I don't know who started this, but enough's enough. Stop.
Just dying on that.
There's an old Saturday Night Live sketch about that where it's Phil Hartman and Dana Carvey. I think Mike Myers is part of it.
Oh, yeah.
Where they have the Hispanic new coworker, and I don't remember what it was. They're all calling him Ramirez, and he's like, it's Ramirez.
Way ahead of their time on that one. All right. Another news update to get to, and Nimrods of the news coming right up.
Remember when they used to ask, what do you want to be when you grow up? At Bank of America, we ask every day, what would you like the power to do? When you work here, you help build businesses, inspire communities, and forge legacies. And now we've raised our U.S. minimum wage to $25 an hour. So the opportunity to do more also comes with competitive pay. Learn more at bankofamerica.com/25. Bank of America, proud to be an equal opportunity employer.
You're still glowing, flirting, grooving. You still got it. But your immune system weakens as you age, making it harder to fight flu, pneumococcal pneumonia, RSV, and COVID-19. Vaccines are a key part of any health routine and help strengthen your immune response. Ask your doctor or pharmacist which vaccines you need. Schedule in minutes at Vaxassist.com. Sponsored by Pfizer.
Wesley Financial Group is not a law firm.
Hi, I'm Chuck McDowell, the timeshare cancellation guy. In 2011, I founded Wesley Financial Group with one goal in mind, to help honest folks out of their timeshares permanently. Today, I run Wesley with my two sons, a real family business, treating every client and every employee like we'd want our own family treated. That philosophy has helped us grow into the largest, most trusted timeshare cancellation company in the United States. Fortune magazine even recognized us as one of the best places to work. Why? Because we genuinely care. In fact, some of our former clients were so moved by their experience working with us, they joined our team so they could help others to timeshare freedom. If you're stuck in a timeshare, give us a call. Let our family help your family.
Call Wesley now for your free timeshare exit kit. 800-858-1199. That's 800-858-1199. 800-858-1199.
The Markley, Van Camp, and Robbins Show. Jamie Markley, David Van Camp, Scott Robbins out today, back tomorrow. Still here with his voice, though.
Sure, the weather's cooling off, but football season is heating up, and it's even better with Prize Picks. Here's the deal. Download the Prize Picks app, use code MVCR, and when you play your first $5, you'll get $50 instantly in lineups. That's $50 guaranteed just for playing. Prize Picks is super easy to use. Just pick two or more players, choose more or less on their stat projections. If you're right, you win. It's that simple. It's available in more than 40 states, including California, Texas, Florida, and Georgia. And your money's always safe, fast, and secure. Maybe even cash in on all those instincts. Who's falling in the standings and who is rising to the occasion? Make your pick on Prize Picks. Download the Prize Picks app today. Use code MVCR. You'll get $50 in lineups when you play your first $5 lineup. That's code MVCR and get $50 in lineups after you play your first $5 lineup. Prize Picks, it's good to be right. Must be present in certain states. Visit PrizePicks.com for restrictions and details.
News update, David Van Camp.
Well, Democrat Representative Jim Himes is really worried about the Trump administration blowing up those drug boats.
Really?
And he's giving a warning on MSNBC about it.
They're not terrorists. They may be drug runners. We don't know that for sure. But just because you call somebody a terrorist, we call lots of people terrorists, doesn't mean that the military is authorized to go after them. And if no other reason...
No, that's where you're wrong, buddy. Anyway.
Look, I talked to an awful lot of people who, despite the fact that this is illegal, are comfortable with lethal action against purported, maybe, cartel members. Where does it stop? Do we now start executing drug dealers on the corners of Brooklyn? Where does it stop if all of a sudden the government, without telling anybody anything, can take this kind of lethal action just because they've decided that they've got the right to do so? If Lindsey Graham and other Republicans want to go the route of saying it's okay to kill people illegally, just so long as the American public supports it, the American public needs to really think that through. There will be a Democratic president someday, and all my MAGA friends who are, cheering on these illegal killings need to imagine who gets killed when President Alexandria Ocasio-Cortez says that it doesn't matter what the law says. She's going to do what she's going to do. So look, I work here, so I understand the complete abnegation of principle and a complete thumbing of the nose at the rule of law, but I would hope that people like Lindsey Graham might not go that path because.
So,
dude,
AOC,
President AOC. Yeah. How's anybody going to take you serious saying that?
And also, he kind of gave away the game there in that members of his party might use military force against political opponents.
Yeah,
it's like that's kind of baked in, right? Who is AOC going to start killing? Huh? She's going to start killing someone.
Well, I was thinking before he even got to that part of the take. Imagine what? Drone strikes? Talk to Big O.
Right.
Talk to Obama.
Talk to Biden.
Exactly. Please. Don't know if you happen to hear this. Ron DeSantis, governor of Florida, has exposed that H-1B audits found colleges were bringing in Chinese people on visas to talk to students about public policy, among other issues. It's like, we're done with it. We're not doing this.
I am directing today the Florida Board of Governors to pull the plug on the use of these H-1B visas in our universities. We can do it with our residents in Florida or with Americans, and if we can't do it, then, man, we need to really look deeply about what is going on with this situation.
I think there'll be a lot of people that will agree with him on that. Dude's a leader. All right, we got to get to Nimrod. Here we go.
When the going gets tough.
Damn it, this is too hard.
The dumb get dumber.
All right, Dean.
It's Nimrod's in the News on the Markley, Van Camp, and Robbins Show.
I love the poorly educated.
All right. Nimrod's in the News. This is like beyond Nimrod. This deserves a public caning.
Okay.
This dude allegedly stabbed 2 teenagers with a metal fork on a flight from Chicago to Germany over the weekend. The short way into Saturday's flight, just after meal service, one of the victims, a 17-year-old boy, awoke to find the accused, Praneeth Kumar Usaparwali, something like that.
Bless you.
Hachu, who's 28, standing over him in the middle seat. Crazy. The Indian national allegedly stabbed the boy in the left collarbone area with a metal fork, and then stabbed the second boy, and then slapped a woman.
Yeah, that's called cultural enrichment.
Facing up to 10 years if convicted. That's Nimrod's in the News.